Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back, my friend. This is Bjjbrick Quick. I don't know what I'm singing. Oh, man. My name is Byron. We're talking about jiu-jitsu in a quick fashion, per usual over here on the Bjjbrick Quick podcast. Wrapping up this week talking about the big grapplers. And so I want to flip it over. And if you're in the shoes of I'm the bigger grappler. And hopefully you get good rolls out of everybody. But and your definition of good roll should not be I beat the crap out of everybody. That's not a good roll. You got to work on your jiu-jitsu. So I know there are gyms out there where there are several big guys or gals, and they get to train with each other, and they get to grow that way. And then, of course, they'll occasionally roll with smaller people. But like when we've got 4 or 5 of our bigger people in the same room, they always want to roll with each other. It's a good experience. It's good for them. But they're going to roll a few more times after that too. So they're going to grab a smaller person probably. Maybe you're the biggest person in your gym, and most people are kind of not only not like average size, but a little smaller weight. Well, it's not your job to beat everybody up, even if you can. I'm not saying because you're bigger you could, but you're trying to learn jiu-jitsu. One of the biggest things you might notice is if you roll around or two, you always roll with the same person or a couple of people. And then nobody else wants to roll with you. And maybe they're nervous to roll with somebody of your size. They're a little nervous about getting hurt. Maybe they're nervous about getting tapped. I don't know. It's hard to read people's minds. Can't do that. But anyways, if you consistently find yourself, after the couple of little rounds go by, as just like be an odd person out, and you've got people by 80, 50 pounds heavier, I don't know. Might make sure that your hygiene is good. You're not the smelly person. But odds are that's not happening. The odds are that people are a little nervous to train with you. And I would say most places, not because they're afraid to lose, because they're nervous about getting injured by somebody who's big. Work on your guard. If when anybody pairs up with a big person, and both are fairly new, and the big person just kind of sits down the butterfly guard, the little person is like, "Oh, I thought I was going to get murdered. I've seen this guy roll with other people, and he rolls pretty hard. I didn't know what I was in for, but this 5 minutes may not be too bad." And then work butterfly. Or work any type of guard. I really don't care. Work on your side control escapes. Whatever. I'm not saying you can't work a dominant game ever, but you shouldn't grab somebody who's like significantly smaller than you and just beat them up. You're gonna burn through your training partners, and no one's gonna want to train with you. People don't have to train with you. They're here on a volunteer basis as well. They're likely paying to be here. And to get beat up by somebody and just smash for 5 minutes straight is something that they probably want to avoid. And if you are odd person out consistently, you might check on that. When you pull guard and largely say, "I'm not, working to smash you in this round," people will notice. Say you sweep them right away. You get on top, start smashing them now. No, sweep them. Let them work a little bit. Maybe end up back in your guard. Let them get a sweep. Again, kind of let them work something. You don't have to give them things, but let them work. The thing I like to do in jiu-jitsu is that we both get to do some jiu-jitsu. I'm a black belt. I have ability. If you're a new white belt, I'll just dumb it down that far. Although I could talk about whatever. I I have the ability to make you not get to do jiu-jitsu. If you're brand new at this, a blue belt could do that to you. Take you down and get a dominant position, and that's the round. Can you shrimp? No. Shrimping's hard when you get somebody with a significant skill gap. Can you work any? No, if you're brand new and you get a blue belt on top of you and they don't want you to do jiu-jitsu, you can't do any jiu-jitsu. And I'm not saying that's not jiu-jitsu. I'm just saying they don't get to do any of the fun moves they've learned. And then so to step back to where we were, like the big guy who's having a hard time getting good rounds, thank people for the roll. Like, hey man, I appreciate the roll. That's it. That was a fun exchange of grappling. Boom. People noticed that. Oh, he actually enjoyed that. Okay. I thought he was just toying with me and being kind of playing easy, taking a break round. They enjoyed that. It was good for him. Ask a question, whatever. Find ways to show your training partners that they are valuable to you. It's a little bit tougher. Just think of yourself as the opposite. You're the smallest person in the room. Every person in that room can give you, if they're evenly matched, give you good rounds. Even if they're a little unevenly matched, they're a little less skilled than you, they're still going to give you good rounds. You'll be tired. If you're significantly bigger, it'll be hard to find those good rounds unless you curate them. Nobody's more happy when the big guy shows up for the first day in class than the other big guys. Yeah! Not that they want to beat him up, but they want another good training partner that can do, give them realistic grappling for their weight division. So I just urge you guys, if you're having a hard time with getting in the number of rounds you want, you're often found as the odd person out. You grab somebody and just work some jiu-jitsu. You don't got to beat them up every time. And people are going to learn to know you as somebody who is trying to get better at jiu-jitsu, not beat up everybody in class. Good coaches will tell people this, I think. They'll say, hey, you're rolling hard with everybody. You're going to burn these guys out. Especially the newer ones, is the people, you have to make people want to roll with you. You got to be an enjoyable roll. Okay. We'll wrap up this week's Rolling with the Big People. If you've enjoyed the podcast, check us out on Patreon. We'd appreciate support there. Want you to have a great day, my friend. Stay sweaty.